Good morning. Today is Friday, May 1st. I said that right. May 1st. We are in the month of May. Congratulations. You've almost made it through your first 6 weeks of take home instruction. Only 2 more weeks left to go. Um, so, congratulations there. However, today for Friday, unfortunately, the way things fell, you do kind of have a little bit to do for me today. On yesterday, Thursday, you should have read chapter 13 of The Watsons Go to Birmingham. All of the four assignments that go with chapter 13 should be done and turned in when you turn in your work on Monday. So whatever you have left to do, make sure that gets done today. According to the cover sheet, you have your summary of chapter 13 and the comprehension and analysis questions for chapter 13. You may have done those in a different order, and that's fine. But I'll go ahead and go over those here real quick. Your summary is just like it has been. Again, make sure you're trying to include all the key details, answering all those W questions in your summary, and writing with complete sentences. Let's go over the comprehension and analysis questions here quick. Chapter 13 kind of can be a confusing chapter. I remember the first time I read the book as an adult, I was a little confused. So, if you're a little confused about what happened, that's understandable. But here are the comprehension questions. First off, what warning were the Watson children given about Collier's Landing? Okay, so think back to what Grandma Sands said before they left for that day to go swimming. Number two, what did Kenny think was happening to him at Collier's Landing? What actually happened to him at Collier's Landing? And if you have questions about that one, go back and look at my background slides presentation that I put on Google Classroom. That maybe will help you out as to what actually happened to him. But what did he also think was happening to him? Okay, what he thought was happening to him and then what actually was happening to him was a little bit different since it was such a traumatic experience for him, especially at such a young age. Then the analysis question. And again, you should have a claim. You should have evidence from the novel that supports your claim and also a citation that goes along with that evidence, okay? Make sure you include a citation and then a conclusion. A lot of us are not doing the citations and the conclusions, so take the effort to go ahead and do that, please. Here's the question. Kenny and Byron's attitudes and behavior has shifted in Alabama. Explain. Why do you think this is? Okay, so I think, especially here the last 2 or 3 chapters, their experiences since they've been to Alabama have been very different, and their attitudes, I think, have been very different. So, kind of explain maybe how that's the case, and then why do you think that is the case? Okay, and again, this is your opinion, not a right or wrong answer. However, just make sure that you do include evidence to back up whatever your answer is. Okay, that's the most important thing: including that evidence, citing that evidence, explaining your evidence, and then concluding your response. Okay, so one more time. Kenny and Byron's attitudes and behavior have shifted, have shifted in Alabama. Explain that. So maybe tell how that's the case, and then why you think that has happened. Okay, so that is chapter 13. When you get your assignments for the next 2 weeks, I will have you finish the book with chapter 14 and 15. So please do not turn your books back in if you have a hard copy book. And I will kind of cut it down. All I'm going to have you do is the vocabulary before you read, and then the comprehension analysis questions after you read. Okay, so we will be finishing the book over the next 2 weeks when you get your new assignments. Okay, let's move on then to social studies. this will be the last kind of formal social studies that you have this year. So this is a quiz over the ancient Indians and the ancient Chinese, which you should have read about during this 3 week period. So, first off, before I go over this, I do not care if you use the passages to help you with this quiz, okay? You can go back and reread, look for key details. I don't care. In fact, I'd rather you do that, okay? Um, so you are definitely allowed to go back and look at your passages to help you with this. Okay, the first part is just vocabulary and it's matching. So you should be able to find all these words in your passages. Okay, I believe, let me think here, monsoon, karma, and dharma are with the Indians, and then the other three, believe bronze, caravan, and legalism are with the Chinese, I think. Okay. Then you have kind of a compare and contrast table, and this has to deal with the religions that the ancient Indians had. Okay. So it talked about Hinduism and it talked about Buddhism. So you're going to, in that table, list maybe one or two things, I guess two things, how Hinduism is different and how Buddhism is different, and then list a couple similarities between those religions as well. These do not need to be in complete sentences, but make sure you are specific enough to so I know exactly what you're trying to say. Then there is a backside with 3 short answer questions. The first one is, how were the ancient Indian societies, they talked about the Indus Valley and the Aryans, similar to civilizations in Mesopotamia and Egypt? So if you can think back to how those civilizations were, we talked about them earlier on in the school year, but there is also a specific part in that passage that talks about the Mesopotamians as well. So you can go back and look for that, and that will help you answer the question. Number 3, how did the Silk Road have a major effect on the Eastern Hemisphere? Okay, so how did the Silk Road have a major effect on the Eastern Hemisphere? It's kind of one of the things that was really huge in expanding knowledge throughout the world at that time. And okay, so that was number 2. Number 3, why did the Chinese build the Great Wall of China? And where did they build the Great Wall? And why did they build it in that location? Now, for that one, I'm not thinking about like a geographic place that they built it, like a city or anything like that. I'm thinking about they built it in a specific kind of land form. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking about with the place. So why did they build it along this land form? Why was that important? Okay, for where they built the wall. So why did they build the Great Wall of China? Where did they build it? Along what type of landform did they build it? And then why did they build it along that landform? Okay, so again, you are welcome to use all of the passages that you received for this 3 weeks to help you with this. In fact, I would probably prefer you do that. Remember on the short answers to write with complete sentences, and include enough information so I know that you understand what the question's asking, and you know the important information that the question's trying to get out of you. Okay, so that is it. I believe we had a birthday yesterday. Andrew Kindle had a birthday, so if you see him or you have his number, wish him a happy birthday. We have had a lot of birthdays, and that's awesome here these last 6 weeks. The pickup for the new assignments. So you'll be expected to drop off this 3 weeks assignments and then pick up your new assignments on Monday. Okay, this coming Monday. I believe it's May 4th. Yes, May 4th. From 2 to 7 p.m. I think it was 2 to 8 last time. This time it's 2 to 7. Okay, so Monday, May 4th, you can drop off the assignments that you finished for this 3 weeks and then get your last group of assignments for the last 2 weeks. Okay. You may have received a couple emails from Mrs. Dyer and I about what we're going to be doing the next 2 weeks. Should be something kind of fun. It's going to be what you make it, okay? But we're trying to make it so it's not a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting for you, and it's something that you can kind of create yourself, okay? So hopefully you'll enjoy that over the last 2 weeks here coming up, along with finishing the Watsons Go to Birmingham. So that is one more thing. I will be sending out a survey to the 6th grade class and the other classes above you about playing or participating in athletics in the fall. Now, with the coronavirus and things like that, we're not sure what that timeline is going to be, but we're going to go forward and act like it's going to be a normal school year, and athletics will take place normally because that's all we know right now. So if you are interested in playing in a sport in the fall, I'm going to be sending a survey out to all of you via your email, okay? I might even put it on Google Classroom, and it's only like 4 or 5 questions long. Please fill it out if that is something you're interested in. That way our coaches can get a hold of you and let you know kind of schedules and things so you're ready to go once we get started back up with school in the fall, or in the late summer, I guess, okay? So be on the lookout for that here in the next couple days. Other than that, I mean, if you have any questions about anything here these last 3 weeks, feel free to text me or give me a call here in the next couple days, and I'll try to do my best to help you. But that's pretty much it. It is supposed to be very nice, I think, tomorrow and Sunday. So if you get a chance, get outside and get some sun and enjoy yourselves a little bit. Okay? That's all I have. I hope you have a great Friday and a great weekend.